Morning, John. Morning, Robert. Morning, Ian. All right, I think we can get started. We'll start with those who want to do the precepts. I believe it's page 9 in the chanting book. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang sampunang. Panatipata veramani sikkapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkapadang samadhiyami. Kame sumicchachara veramani sikkapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkapadang samadhiyami. Shura merya majjapamadhatthana veramani sikkapadang samadhiyami. Tisaranena sadding panchasilang dhammang samadhiyatva sadhukang surakkatang katva apamadena sampadetabang. Silena sukating yanti, silena bhoga sampada, silena nibbuting yanti, tasma silang visodaye. All right. Welcome, Diana, Bal and Gautam. Page 23. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vidya charana sampano sugato lokavidum anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manusanang buddho bhagavati svakato bhagavata dhammo sanditiko akaliko ehipassiko panayako pacchatang veditabbo vinyuhiti Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sango Ujupatipanno bhagavato savaka sango Nyayapatipanno bhagavato savaka sango Samichipatipanno bhagavato savaka sango Yadidang chattari purissa yugani yatta purissa puggala Esa bhagavato savaka sango ahuneyo pahuneyo dakkineyo anjali karaniyo anuttarang punya kettang lokasati Buddho susuddho karuna mahannavo yo chanta suddha baranyana lochano lokassa Papu pakilesa gatako vandami buddhang aham adarena tang Namo te purisa janya Namo te purisuttama Sadeva kasming lo kasming natite patipuggalo Dhammo padipo viyatassu sattuno yo maggapaka matabheda bennako Lokuttaro yo chadharatta dipano vandami dhammang aham adarena tang Yo chadammam abhinyaya dhammam anyaya pandito Rahadova nivato cha nejo vupasammati Esang dhamma asamutta parivade sunaniyare te sambuddha sammadanya charanti Vasame samang ye kechiyo sadha loke vijanti vividha bahu dhammo sada samannati etang pivita bhikkavo dhammo sadang pivitvanang ajara maranasiyung bhavayitva chapasitva nibbuta upadikaye Sango sukyatta bhyatiketti sannito yoditta santo sugatana bodhako lolappaino ariyo sumedaso vandami sangang aham adarena tang suko buddhana muppado sukha sadhamma desana sukha sangassa samaggi samagganang taposuko Ahung ve saranang yanti pabbatani vanani cha haram arukka chatyani manusa bayatajjita netango saranang kemang netang saranang uttamang netang saranang agamma sabbadukka pamucchati yo cha buddhan cha dhamman cha sanghang cha saranang gato Chattari ariya satchani sammappanyaya passati Dukkam dukkha samuppadang dukkhassa cha atikkamang Aryanchitangikam maggam dukkupasamagaminang Etang ko saranang kemang Etang saranang uttamang Etang saranang agamma sabbadukka pamucchati Excuse me. Imaya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi. Imaya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya dhammang pujemi. Imaya Dhamma Nudhamma Patipattiya Sanghang Pujemi. Manopu Bangama Dhamma Manosetta Manomaya Manasa Che Paduttena Bhasativa Karotiva Tato Nang Dukam Manveti Chakang Vavahato Padang Manopu Bangama Dhamma Manosetta Manomaya Manasa Che Pasanena Bhasativa Karotiva Tato nang sukam manveti chaya va anapayani. Anicca vata sankara upada vayadhamino. Upajitva nirujjanti te sangvu pasumosuko. Sabba papassa akaranang kusalassa upasampada. Sachitta pariyodapanang etang buddhana sasanang. Kanti paramang tapotittika nibbanang paramang vadanti buddha. Nahi pabbajito parupaghati samano hoti parang vihetayanto. Anupavado anupagato patimoke cha sangvaro. Matanyuta cha bhattasming pantang cha sayanasanang. Arichitte cha ayogo etang buddhana sasanang. Imena punya kamena upajjaya gunuttara achari upakara cha mata pita piya mamang suryo chandimaraja gunavanta nirapicha brahma mara cha inda cha lokapala cha devata yamo mitta manusa cha majjata verika picha Sabbe satta sukhi hontu punyani pakatani me sukang chatividhang dentu kipang pa petu vomatang imena punya kamena imena udasena cha kipahang sulabhe cheva tanupadana chedanang ye santane hina dhamma yava nibbana to mamang Na santu sabbada eva yattajato bave bave Ujucetto satipanyo sale ko viriyavamino Mara labantu no kasang kattuncha viriyesume Buddha di pavaro nato dhammo nato varuttamo Nato pacekka sambuddho sango nato taro mamang Teso tamanubhavena maro kasang labantuma Imena punya kamena mame bala samagamo Satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya Dukkha patta chani dukkha baya patta chani baya Sokha patta chani sokha hontu sabbe pipaniyo Pavagupadaya vichihatato etantare sattakayupapanna Rupi arupi cha asanya sanya no dukkha pamucchantu pusantu nibbuting Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right. Continuing on with Anatta Lakkhana Sutta. We left off on page 123. Tanking manyata bhikkave sanya niccava anicca bante yang pana niccang dukkang vatang sukkang vati dukkang bante yang pana niccang dukkang viparanama dhammang kallang nutang samanupassitung etang mama eso hamasmi So me yatati no etang bante tanking manyata bhikkave sankhara niccava anicca bante Yang pananitjang dukkang vatang sukkang vati. Dukkang bante. Yang pananitjang dukkang viparanama dhammang kallang nutang samanupassitung etang mama eso hamasmi eso me yatati. No hetang bante tang king manyata bhikkave vinyanang nitjang va anitjang vati. Anitjang bante, yang pananitjang dukkang vatang sukkang vati, dukkang bante, yang pananitjang dukkang viparanama dhammang kallang nutang samanupassitong etang mama eso hamasmi eso me yatati, no hetang bante. All right, English. What do you think, bhikkhus? Is perception permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, Venerable Sir. Is that which is impermanent unsatisfactory or satisfactory? Unsatisfactory, Venerable Sir. Is it correct to consider that which is impermanent unsatisfactory and of the nature of changing, that this is mine, this am I, this is myself? No, Venerable Sir. What do you think, bhikkhus? Are mental formations permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, Venerable Sir. Is that which is impermanent unsatisfactory or satisfactory? Unsatisfactory, Venerable Sir. Is it correct to consider that which is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and of the nature of changing, as this is mine, this am I, this is myself? No, Venerable Sir. What do you think, bhikkhus? Is consciousness permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, Venerable Sir. Is that which is impermanent unsatisfactory or satisfactory? Unsatisfactory, Venerable Sir. Is it correct to consider that which is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and of the nature of changing, as this is mine, this am I, this is myself? No, Venerable Sir. So, yesterday, actually it wouldn't be yesterday, it would be Friday, and today we've the Buddha here has gone through the 5 aggregates, and he's going through this line of questioning, right? He's already established what is impermanent, right? And what is what is understood, right? That anything that is impermanent, unstable, undependable is not something that can be clung to without the creation of dukkha. So he's asking, is this aggregate nitya or anicca? And of course I say anicca, Bhante. It is impermanent, unstable, undependable. And then the Buddha asks, well, is that which is unstable, undependable, impermanent, is that dukkha or sukha? Is that happiness or suffering? Right? Is it pleasant or unpleasant? That's where you have these, like this, you know, there's dukkha in the context of this, the First Noble Truth. And there's a more common phrase use of dukkha, which was probably the common at the time, right, in the culture, and the Buddha kind of used that word for his First Noble Truth. So you have dukkha, sukha. Sukha is pleasant, happy, nice. Dukkha is unpleasant, unhappy, not nice, right? So you hear the Buddha will ask in these question formulations, dukkha or sukha? Right? And of course they say, unsatisfactory, it's dukkha. And so then we have this very famous line, right? Because something is unstable, undependable, because if clung to it causes suffering, is it right to consider that this is mine, this is me, this is myself? And they say, no, Venerable Sir. right? So this is the line that they're going through here. And then tomorrow, we're going to finish out the sutta with how the Buddha says that we should reflect. This is not mine. This is not me. This is not myself. Hence anatta lakkhana. All right, so let's go to the thought of the day. Which was what? Page... Did we do... Where were we here? No, that's not it. Yes. We were taking one at a time, going through Abhinam Paccavikittaba Dhamma, page 83, the 5 subjects of contemplation. We did the introduction and the first one, Jara, aging and decay. So now we're on the second one. Bhyadi Dhammo me, Bhyading Anati Toti, Abhinhang Paccavikittabang. I am of the nature to be diseased. I have not gone beyond disease. Let's see how this works here. There we go. Yes. So, not yesterday, Friday, we did the nature of aging and decay. Today, it's the nature of disease. Soon as you have this body, right, just like any machine, biological, mechanical, guess what? Things break down, right? If machines are not oiled up correctly, right, kept and maintained, gears start to break, things start to break down. That's normal. And it's the same with our body, right? This biological machine. And so even though, I just saw a little lag there, interestingly enough. So even though, right, we might even take really good care of our body. You say, I'm going to have only organic food, and I'm only going to have lots of vegetables and such and such and such and such. While good, right, while maintaining the health of the body is good, you should never delude yourself into thinking that that makes you free from illness, right? You are essentially just mitigating the inevitable, right? You could make yourself, if you didn't take care of yourself, you could probably have a lot more sickness. But you should never delude yourself into thinking that you'll have no sickness, because that's impossible. It is of the nature of this body to break down, right? You may take really good care of yourself, but you might have been born with a ticking time bomb, like a cancer or something, like mutated cells that basically were there as you were being formed in the womb, that were waiting to come out, right? And then you have a couple months to live, right? You never know. So illness, sickness, this is why the Buddha wants us to reflect on this, right? It doesn't mean that we shouldn't take care of ourselves or shouldn't, eat well and exercise and stuff like that. That's not what this means. What it means is you shouldn't delude yourself into thinking that that is going to fix illness and sickness. Right? When you have the illness, if you're a Buddhist practitioner, you should write, well, it was inevitable. One thing or another was going to get me. Right? There's the story of a famous Sri Lankan monk who was the head of monastics, I think, or some kind of the head of an organization in Malaysia for many years. A contemporary of Bhante Gunaratana, Bhante Keshri Dhammananda. He's been gone now, I think, for 10, 15 years. But there's this story that I first heard from Ajahn Brahm of him, when the doctor told him that he had cancer, right? And his response was to laugh, right? Well, of course, I have this body, so it's the nature to get sick. It's the nature to get ill, right? This is the nature of this body. As long as we are born, we're subject to old age, sickness, and death. There's no escaping that. This is the way it goes. Well, I mean, I suppose you probably could escape old age if you died young. But, either way, you're not going to escape one or the other, right? So this is why it's so important to reflect, right? That we understand it is the nature of this body to get ill, to get sick. Sometimes related to our actions, sometimes not. Right? There's all kinds of factors that go into how and why we get sick. But we should always reflect on that we're not exempt from sickness. This body is liable to it. It's just a biological machine that's ready to break down. Right? That just like a computer is vulnerable to viruses, so are humans. Right? Viruses, diseases, plagues, cancers, all of these things. We're subject to them. It's just the nature. Right? But we kind of feel in a way that we feel that we're owed not having them. Right? Somebody gets like a cancer when they're young, like a child, right? Or in their 20s. And you think that's not right. Because people should live, right, longer and all these kind of things. But there's no such thing as that. The universe does not owe you a long, healthy life. It can't give you that because that's not the nature of the universe. Right? There's going to be sickness. Right? There's going to be decay. And as we'll talk about tomorrow, there's going to be death. So we reflect on these divine messengers always, all the time, so that we understand what's important. What's the most important thing that we can do with the time that we have? Right? Because old age and sickness and death are rolling in. Just like the simile of the mountains. All right, friends. Until next time, Sukhi Hotu, may you be happy. Practice well and be well. Tomorrow, actually later today, I'm going to be going to the farm. So tomorrow should be on the farm. Now 8 o'clock is usually the time where like everybody starts coming to the farm and things start getting busy. So I don't know how 8 o'clock is going to work. I'm going to try 8 o'clock tomorrow, but it might be easier to do either 7:30 or 8:30. I don't know which one would be easier for people, but we'll fiddle with it and we'll see how it goes. But I definitely do want to keep this going. I think it's good for me and it's good for whoever visits as well. It's a good thing, good community thing. It keeps me on a good schedule as well. So it's as good for me as it is for you guys and whoever else joins to come together like this. So have a good spiritual, successful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.